kept his voice cool, professional. As there are suspected fatalities, it falls within the remit of MIT. Denning had got into the office early that morning, intending to catch up with paperwork and prepare a fellow detective for an upcoming promotion, when one of the uniformed officers attending the scene had called it in, stressing the presence of casualties. He'd informed his DCI of the situation and put in a formal request for a forensic team to get there ASAP. And here they all were, standing around like extras on a film set, waiting for their cue. "Nothing's been confirmed as yet," Gorton said. "We only got here ourselves a few minutes ago. But from what I've managed to overhear, the speed at which the fire spread certainly seems to suggest the possibility of arson. Next to where they were standing, a team were either climbing into their plastic coveralls or already wearing them and awaiting the instruction from Gorton to get the show on the road." Denning sympathised. He was keen to find out what the deal was himself, and whether he was going to have to get his team down here to make things official. "Any chance they'll let us in there sometime soon?" Denning asked, nodding at the gutted building. He didn't fancy wasting his morning making small talk with soccos. Gorton shrugged. "They're still trying to make the place safe, apparently." She looked over at the burnt-out house. "There was a real fear the roof was going to collapse at one point. They can't take any risks." She offered him a dry smile. "It's all about health and safety these days." "In the meantime," said Denning, "we're stuck out here scratching our backsides." "Speak for yourself, Inspector." She waved at one of the fire officers, beckoning him over, and then introducing him to Denning. "This is Tom Keeble. He's the incident commander." Keeble removed his helmet and shook Denning's hand. He was in his mid to late 40s, thick-set, with broad shoulders and a thinning salt and pepper on top. His face was glistening with sweat, and his eyes were red and liberally smudged with black soot, like badly applied mascara. "Detective Inspector Denning is keen for us to get inside and have a poke around," Gorton said with a slight twinkle in her eye. "Any chance?" Keeble eyed Denning as though challenging him to question his authority. The rules governing the specific responsibility for a suspicious fire were very strict. Only when the incident commander had deemed a building safe would they officially hand control over to the police, and only then after the signing of the relevant paperwork. Like a dog marking its territory, Keeble wanted to remind Denning that this was his call until such time as he said otherwise. "My team have almost finished in there," he said. "We're just securing the building now. The fire's out, and the structural integrity is being checked as we speak." He glanced back at the house. "We've just sent a hydrocarbon detector dog in, along with its handler." He noted the puzzled look on Denning's face. "It's trained to detect the presence of any residual amounts of ignitable liquids that may still be present," Keeble explained. "You don't want the place going up again the minute we leave, do you?" Denning nodded his agreement. "Can you say at this stage what caused the fire?" Keeble sighed and scratched his chin. "Seat of the fire would appear to have been the living room. We initially thought it might have been caused by an electrical fault or a candle left burning. You'd be surprised how often that happens." "But you now think otherwise?" There was a momentary silence. "That's why the fire investigator called you in." He looked at Denning, then at Sheila Gorton. "I don't think this was an accident." "So we are talking arson?" Gorton asked. "I'm sure your mob will be able to confirm it," Keeble said, nodding at Gorton. "But the fire investigator found what we suspect are trace elements of some kind of accelerant. He can't say for sure at the moment, but the clever money's on petrol." He glanced back at the house. It would explain a lot. According to neighbours, the house went up like a Roman candle. Poor sods in there didn't stand a chance. Denning winced, remembering there were casualties, knowing that if the fire investigator was right, then they were talking probable murder. Manslaughter at the very least. "How many bodies?" he asked. There was a pause before Keeble answered. 5. He scratched at his chin again. "Including a child." Gorton muttered something that sounded like Jesus Christ. Before anyone else had a chance to respond, Keeble added, "If it's any consolation, I think they likely died from smoke inhalation." It was scant comfort. Being suffocated was marginally preferable to being burned alive.